Alright, so in this day and age, we live in a world of like innovation, companies that have come up. All those companies have built on a simple foundation, basically a dream. Someone wanting to aspire to do something and essentially achieving their dream through going for it. Today I'm going to talk about a quote from Walt Disney, which is basically, if you can dream it, you can do it. So, pretty standard. I'll talk about 3 different people who've had dreams and have aspired to achieve them, and through hard work and, working through their inspirations have achieved those dreams. The first person is my friend Matt. He wanted to start a clothing company, so he basically went from it from the ground up. He met people that could screen print, met different people that were able to help him out, and he started a clothing company called Kingdom. His company had a foundation. His dream was essentially just to help out the animal community. So go out and promote that, give a foundation to help out, give 5% back to different companies. His dream was to help out the wildlife associations, and he was able to achieve that by simply just working hard. Now there's ups and downs to everything. He went through different waves of going through those companies, and he was able to achieve it to an extent. He's still pretty young, so the company's still building, but it's a kind of a home roots example of how you can achieve your dreams if you just kind of aspire for it. Bigger examples would be obviously like Elon Musk, Walt Disney, those people who had dreams and aspirations of building something that was much bigger than themselves. So it's bigger than just a clothing company. Walt Disney, I'm not quite sure what his initial plan was, but he wanted to start something where he wanted to build a park, and now it's one of the biggest corporations in the whole entire world. So he's not alive right now, but he was able to see his dream build even when he was alive, and now it's one of the greatest companies in the world. If you look at companies like Elon Musk, people like Elon Musk, he had a dream or an aspiration of building a company through science and innovation, and with his hard work and determination, he was able to build something, and that foundation was able to make something that was also one of the biggest companies that only has a ceiling that's glass and can break through. So the foundation of achieving your dreams and setting out for something, that's kind of how you go for something. Most of these people that have achieved great things in history have all just started out like normal people like you and I, had a dream and an aspiration to achieve something, and through their dreams they were able to accomplish their goals. Thank you.
It'd be hard
Don't tell me how to do my cards.
Just telling you that it would work a lot better. You weren't finding it that better.
I like to let people know that they have 5 minutes left when they start.
You did great.
I raise it for someone. I raise it for you. I raise it for you. No? Who did I raise the 5 minutes for?
All right, John, the opening's a little abstract. You sound kind of disappointed that you couldn't think of something more original. You kind of apologize for even saying what the quote was. Pretty standard stuff, or there's some comment like that. I think that kind of takes away a little bit at the beginning, and so you need to maybe fake it a little bit more. But I did think that you had a good preview of what the content was going to be, and that was fine. You had good examples that you talked about when you were talking about your friend who's got the personal experience and the silk screening and all that kind of thing. I'm going, okay, that's all good. That works fine. And then when you talked about Disney and Elon Musk, you don't really have much detail to talk about there. I mean, the Disney one, it should be a little bit more obvious, but you did make a good point on it. The Elon Musk one, I think you just depend on everybody knowing what happened there, and I'm not sure everybody, he's a well-known current figure, but not necessarily everything is well-known, and you might want to talk a little bit about the struggle or the innovation or the way the company is going. I think there's one of those things. This company has huge potential, but there are also potential drawbacks. But the way you do that is by dreaming big, and I think you've got the right idea there. Presentation issues. You're doing everything that's pretty solid. I'm not sure that there's anything that, nothing that's wrong, but some things I think you could be a little bit better on. For example, your gestures, you got a lot of indicators while you're speaking, but they all seem like they're the same kind of thing. There's a lot of this kind of thing where you are emphasizing a point with your arms, which is good. We want the indicators, that sort of thing, but it seems like you do that a lot instead of maybe trying something a little bit different, or having something a little asymmetrical. Hey, maybe I'll gesture with one hand instead of two, that kind of thing. Same sort of thing with your voice. I think you project pretty well, you're pretty fluent, but sometimes I think you get a little bit more variety in the presentation by changing the volume or the speed or your tone a little bit more. Nothing was bad, it was all solid. Just I'm thinking, what could you do to make it a little bit better? And I think that's a little more variety would probably help. Your eye contact is good, but it would be better if I could see your eyes more consistently. And guess what? You've got that damn hat on, which is always it might be your signature, but maybe sometimes it's time. Maybe you should take off the signature. It's just one of those things. All right, thank you.